You are Locked On Warriors Postcast, part of Locked On Sports San Francisco on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Warriors Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. We also do the Locked On Giants postcast and the Locked On 49ers postcast. But today, the Warriors somehow, some way, pulled out a win over the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 1 of the NBA Western Conference Semifinals, despite an injury to Steph Curry, which he did not return from in today's game. It looks like he could miss some time going forward. Defense led the way for the Dubs without Steph, as they limited the Timberwolves to just 31 points while holding Ant Edwards to just 1 point in that first half. Did all their heavy lifting early on, so they had a much better chance of winning this one in the second half. And after Draymond Green led the way with 16 first half points, 4 of 6 from three-point range. He passed that torch to Buddy Hield in the second half, and Buddy finished with 24 points to lead the way offensively for the Warriors in Steph's absence. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Sports San Francisco YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Warriors podcast feed, and make sure to check out the Locked On Warriors Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. Today, what a crazy game this was. I mean, it was back and forth in that first half, couple of different runs either way, but really the turning point for me came early on in that second half.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And I meant to say second quarter, not second half. Early on in the second quarter, Warriors opened up a 15-0 run to start that quarter. Steph looked like he was heating up. He was on pace for a huge game in this one before he got hurt. He pulled that hamstring. You saw him try to play through it, and he could not do it. But he came out of this one, did not return. And Steve Kerr just moments ago saying that they're operating under the assumption that Steph will not be available for Game 2. So who knows how long Steph is going to miss. I mean, the Warriors proved that they could win one without him. They've actually been pretty good this season without Steph Curry. But there's no way that this team is winning a championship without Steph Curry. I struggle to think that they'll get out of this semifinals round without Steph Curry coming back at some point. Maybe you can steal one more game without him, but I think you're going to need Steph to close out this series. I don't think that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to start the game 0 for 15 from 3, which they did. Entered halftime 0 for 15 from three-point range. And as I said, Anthony Edwards, only 1 point by halftime, 0 of 9 from the floor. I mean, just an abysmal shooting night for him. But the Warriors played very, very, very good defense against him. Draymond Green and company did a great job on Ant Edwards. Jimmy Butler played great defense as well in this one. Jimmy, by the way, just shy of a triple-double in this one. Jimmy just needed 2 more assists to hit that mark. Of course, we all know the explosive end to his career in Minnesota. If you watch that on-court interview immediately following the game, you saw Jimmy with a smirk answering the question about how it felt to come back to Minnesota, and he smiled and said, "It felt great coming back here with a new group of guys and in the playoffs." And that's not the most thinly veiled shot that I've ever seen in my life that a guy took at a former team. Like, oh my God, Jimmy Butler just does not care what anybody in Minnesota thinks of him. He should not be walking around the Mall of America unguarded. Like, this guy should have, someone watching his back at all times, walking the streets of Minneapolis. Jimmy Butler not making any friends in Minnesota. Granted, a lot of the guys from that team are long gone. There's no more Andrew Wiggins there, obviously. There's no more Karl Anthony Towns there, obviously. So a completely different rebranded Minnesota Timberwolves team from the one that Jimmy Butler played alongside of. But it doesn't mean that his hate for the Wolves has gone away at all. I mean, he just despises that ownership group and everything about that franchise, it seems like. Jimmy had a great game in his own right. As I said, just 2 assists shy of a triple-double tonight. He had 20 points and 11 boards to go along with those 8 assists. He was very, very good on the offensive glass. 7 offensive rebounds for Jimmy Butler. And for a team that's as big as Minnesota is, they have no business getting out rebounded by 10 by the Golden State Warriors. And I mean, for the Warriors to win on the offensive glass as well, just a gutsy performance from this Warriors team, doing all the little things that they had to do to win this game. And Jimmy Butler was great on the glass. Buddy Hield was great on the glass. He had 8 boards as well. Brandon Podziemski pitched in 8 boards, and Draymond Green pitched in 8 boards too. So, I mean, everybody that played in the starting lineup at least played a full game from the starting lineup, doing a great job on the glass. And that was a huge key in this one to me, to prevent the Minnesota Timberwolves from getting a bunch of tip-ins or second chance opportunities. The Warriors really limited them in those categories. They were almost dead even in second chance points with the Wolves. Wolves beat them out in that category by just 1. But really, I think down the stretch, what really made the difference in this one was the three-point shooting. And I think that's what you'll be talking about after this one.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And not just three-point shooting, but shooting in general and scoring in general. How will the Warriors be able to get it done without Steph Curry going forward? Well, look no further than Splash Buddy Hield, Buddy Buckets, whatever you want to call this guy. I mean, he looks like he has rolled the clock back to his Oklahoma Boomer Sooner days. This guy was amazing tonight. Again, Buddy Hield stepping up in the biggest way when everyone needed him the most. Alfred coming to save the day for when Batman goes down. I mean, we have seen this movie before. And Buddy Hield, man, 5 of 8 from three-point range. Hit a huge three-pointer there as time was winding down in the fourth quarter. When the Wolves were starting to push, they brought it down to a single-digit game. I mean, they looked like they were kind of going on a little bit of a run there. And I was wondering who is going to be the stopper for the Warriors, who's going to be the momentum killer and just steal it back from the Wolves. And after Gary Payton hit a nice open 3, and then Ant Edwards came back the other way, hit a 3 of his own, Buddy Hield responded with another 3. And so, I mean, they were just trading those 3s at the end there, but Buddy played out of his mind again, man. And we have seen bad Buddy Hield and good Buddy Hield a lot this season. We have seen the fluctuation, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of a Buddy Hield. But, man, I think I have to forever promise to never say a bad word about Buddy Buckets again, because the way that he has played this postseason, I mean, he's forever endeared himself to Dub Nation. There's no way that you can sit there and be disgruntled with Buddy Hield anymore. Like, we all owe him a collective apology. I know that I'm not the only one who's been frustrated with Buddy's up and down performances throughout the season. But I mean, wow, when everything mattered the most, Buddy Hield steps up with Steph Curry out in the locker room, sitting down, not able to do anything. You go to Buddy Hield to lead the team in scoring. That is absolutely bonkers. But, you know, in that first half, he was not very good. He did not have a shot from the floor fall in that first half. Ends up going 5 of 9 from the field in that third quarter to get him going. Warriors in that third quarter really started to pull away. They increased the lead to more than 20 points and entered that fourth quarter up by 20. And man, Buddy in that fourth quarter also hitting not just 1, but 2 big 3s. And he just really lifted the Warriors in the second half offensively. In the first half, though, Draymond Green, maybe the least likely of candidates to step in Steph Curry's absence, took it upon himself as soon as Steph went down to start scoring. And Draymond did a great job. He was driving the lane. You saw him get a dunk late in that second quarter. He hit 4 of 6 3-pointers in that quarter as well. Only missed 1 shot. He was 5 of 6 from the floor. So Draymond really doing a great job. He also had 6 assists, a couple steals in this one. And the Warriors really just all around team effort in this one. There wasn't a single guy who really dramatically underperformed, maybe save for Brandon Podziemski, who was just 1 of 7 tonight. But he also did pitch in, as I said, a bunch of rebounds, 3 assists as well. And I thought Pods played some nice minutes on defense too. But collectively, this team looked like they had the gumption to go out there and stand tall without Steph. And I mean, again, going back to that Jimmy Butler on-court interview immediately following this game, the first thing he said, and then made sure to reiterate it again before the end of the interview, was that Stephen Curry is the Warriors' best player, and it's a hell of a lot easier to win with him on the court. And when he was asked what the key is going forward in this series, he said, Steph Curry is our best player. So, I mean, pretty simple, laying it out there, putting it out for the whole world to know. Without Steph, this is going to be a tough task for the Warriors. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe some more Pat Spencer minutes. And I mean, that kind of sounds a little bit like a joke, but honestly, I have really liked what I've seen from Pat Spencer in the minutes that he's played. He only played 11 minutes tonight, but I thought that you could trust him in those minutes. He wasn't doing anything that was making you go, we got to get this guy off the floor right now. Like, he's not going to light it up from 3-point range. He's not going to be a prolific scorer. He's not going to score, 30 points in a playoff game. That's not going to come from Pat Spencer, but he doesn't make bad decisions with the basketball. He plays very good defense, very stout for how undersized he is, and he can drive the lane, get into the teeth of the defense, and make some things happen in the interior. For a guy of his size, he does a pretty good job going amongst the trees and getting some buckets to fall. So I really liked what I saw from all of the Warriors role players tonight. Everybody really stepped up when it mattered the most. And I mean, this one was such a validating win for the Warriors to be able to get this one without Steph. And one interesting stat that I saw, the Warriors are 16-1 when they hold opponents to under 100 points. So, I mean, if they are able to continue to play this type of defense, I think the Warriors are going to have a good shot at winning the series, which is not really what I thought going into this one. I mean, I had questions about how Julius Randle was going to be able to be guarded if you are also trying to figure out how to stop Ant Edwards, and also figuring out how to, utilize Draymond against some of these big bodies that the Wolves had roam in the paint. Like, who's going to guard Gobert? Who's going to guard Naz Reid in those two giant twin towers that they have down low? And then Julius Randle poses a huge matchup problem for the Warriors. Draymond can't guard everybody. And I know that Jimmy is also a very good defender in his own right. You saw a lot of good minutes from him tonight on the defensive end of the floor. But past those two guys, who do you really trust to play stopper? Like, Kevon Looney is going to have to get some run in this series. He played 14 minutes tonight off the bench. And again, more very, very good minutes from Loon. He had 6 boards in those 14 minutes. He was just doing all the dirty work as you would expect him to do. A couple steals and a block for Kevon Looney as well. I thought he played very, very, very good tonight. But tonight's player of the game is a guy who led the way in plus minus and also led the Warriors in scoring.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And the best game, the nicest game from any single Warrior tonight, Buddy Hield, man. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion, to give Buddy the player of the game. Buddy buckets, 24 points, plus 22, plus minus. He also had 8 rebounds, man. I mean, Buddy Hield doing everything for the Warriors in that second half, especially 3 assists in this one. He also had a steal, and I'm very impressed not only by Buddy scoring, but I mean, it seems like he has continued to play that very stout defense that we saw from him in that Rockets series. And I know that coming out of college, defense was kind of like we didn't know if Buddy Hield would be a lockdown defender in the NBA, but you did know he was going to give you hustle on the defensive end of the floor. He was never going to take a play off, just sprinting all over the court. And for a lot of years, that defense was up and down and up and down. And we've seen, bad defensive minutes from Buddy Hield this season. Don't get me wrong, but man, when everything was on the line, again, Buddy Hield stepping up on both ends of the court. Like, I am so thoroughly impressed with Buddy after tonight's game. As I said, I can never say another bad word about Buddy Hield. We got to take a quick break, but on the other side of this one, we got a little bit more to talk about. How are the Warriors going to win game 2 without Steph Curry? That's coming up next on the Locked On Warriors postcast. Today's show is sponsored by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player like Buddy Hield, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. I think that, honestly, a great bet going forward is going to be Buddy Hield, especially if Steph is out of this game. Like, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at what the lines are for Buddy in this game 2 matchup, But I mean, if it's anything less than 20 points, I'm probably smashing the over on that on my FanDuel account, man. I love what I've seen from Buddy Hield, and I think he's going to continue to keep scoring. I've seen Draymond hovering around like 8.5, 9.5 points. I would also smash the over on that too. We know Draymond looks to be an aggressive scorer in the postseason more than he is in the regular season. And without Steph, Draymond is going to be firing away from three-point range. This has been one of his best seasons shooting the three ball as of late. And I think that he's going to continue to make these shots, especially in the first half. So maybe you can get a Draymond like more than 5.5 or more than 6.5 points in the first half. I think that would be an absolute lock. Head to FanDuel.com, and if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Welcome back to the Locked On Warriors postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. The Warriors win tonight 99-88. Big win for the Warriors. Obviously, we're just singing Buddy Hield's praises on this show all night long. Jimmy Butler had a great game as well. Draymond Green, really solid for the Warriors in this win. Going forward, the recipe for a win without Steph, because we have to assume he's going to be gone for, bare minimum. I don't think he's playing game 2. I think there's a very high likelihood that he's going to miss more than just that second game of this series. Hamstring injuries are not something that just heals quickly. We've seen plenty of other hamstring injuries just linger. I'm thinking just to another Bay Area athlete that his whole career seems to be hampered by hamstring injuries. Lamont Wade Jr. for the San Francisco Giants. I know it's a different sport, but just look how different he is as an athlete with that since he had that hamstring injury last summer. He has been so slow on the bases. He has not had any power in that lower half. And Steph Curry, you need all the speed you can get and all the change of direction you can get out there on the basketball court. We know that Steph is one of the most active players in the NBA as far as how much he runs on the court, always moving without the ball. And all that action is going to be very limited when he does come back from this injury, if he is able to make it back in this postseason, which I do think we'll see Steph before the end of this series. He's Steph Curry. He plays through all of these injuries. He's been playing through the thumb for damn near most of the season at this point. Still playing at an all-star level, at a potentially an NBA championship type level. And I don't think that an injury is going to stop Steph from getting back out there in some key games, even if it's just to go stand in the corner and shoot some threes and just try and be a shooter. I think that he could, I think he'll absolutely find a way back onto the court in this game, but how effective is he going to be? How good is that hamstring going to hold up when he's trying to run off screens and change directions and play defense and all that kind of stuff? I am skeptical of how healthy Steph is going to be able to get before the end of this series. So the Warriors need to figure out the recipe for how to duplicate this win. And the recipe for that is defense. It starts on the defensive end of the floor. Draymond Green and Buddy Hield and Jimmy Butler also have to set the tone defensively. The way that Buddy has been playing defensively, it sounds strange to say Buddy Hield has to set the tone defensively, but from what I've seen from him, especially in Game 7 against the Rockets and again tonight, I need Buddy Hield to bring that level of defense. You know that Jimmy Butler is going to do his thing. You know that Draymond Green is going to do his thing. If you have another guy in the mix that can go out and play some solid defense on a guy like Ant Edwards to allow Draymond Green to roam the paint while Jimmy Butler goes and shuts down Julius Randle, I think that that's going to be the recipe for success to this. And I'm not saying that they just got to take those matchups the whole time, but in the moments where Buddy is going to be on Ant Edwards playing that guard position, he's got to be able to step up and get some stops. And we saw that from Buddy Hield tonight in the key moments where he made some pretty good defensive plays. And obviously, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green really did the heavy lifting on the defensive end of the floor. Those two both had 2 steals apiece. And Kevon Looney also. I think Loon's going to play some massive minutes in this series. There's no way that you can continue to roll with super small lineups and just run the Wolves off the floor without Steph Curry. You need to be able to match up against these bigger lineups that the Wolves have And I think that guys like Buddy Hield and Kevon Looney are really the key to that. Buddy Hield for being able to free up Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green to go do other stuff, and Kevon Looney for giving you big minutes with rebounds and energy off the bench. I think these are going to be huge keys to the Warriors' success. I need Buddy Hield to continue to start every single game for the rest of this postseason the way he's been playing. Do not let Buddy sit. I mean, 39 minutes for Buddy tonight. I'm so glad that Steve Kerr kept the confidence in him in the second half and just kept playing him, because he came around. He fully delivered for the Warriors tonight, and I'm very impressed with what I've seen in this Warriors win. 99-88 game 1 win over the Wolves. And by the way, every single road team so far in the semifinal round has won game 1. That's never happened in the history of the NBA playoffs before. This is absolutely bonkers kind of stuff going on. OKC losing to the Denver Nuggets, the Celtics losing to the Knicks. I mean, the Cavs losing to the Pacers, the Wolves now losing to the Warriors. This NBA Finals is very, very, very entertaining. High level entertainment in the NBA right now. So appreciate you guys all tuning in to the show tonight. That's all the time that we got for you guys today. Thanks to everybody in the chat, and just really want to thank everyone for tuning into the show on the podcast feed as well. However you're getting the show, we appreciate you guys tuning in to the Locked On Warriors postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.